Cartas de Día de las Madres, 1.50. Tarjeta para el Día de las Madres, 1.50, 1.50. Cómprala.
Una noche de copa, una noche loca, bajo tus brazos olvidé tu boca, entre tu imagen me perdí yo solo, y esta es tu historia. Papá, una noche loca, bajo tus brazos olvidé tu boca, entre tu imagen me perdí yo solo, y esta es tu
Perdón, si el 9 está bueno para hoy, las carreras son grandes.
Desde Chicago y también de Nueva York. Y aquí me
Is to be proud of your heritage, proud of your language, proud of who you are.
We call it music. We live on music.
My Latin music is a culture which I grew up with since I was young.
Latin flavor of the music.
When we throw fiestas in Manhattan, in the barrio, so many people come, old people, young people, and we love it. It's hard to express. You have to be there to really know about it. The barrio for me is the backbone of the Puerto Rican people. And not only that, there's a lot of Latin other people coming into the barrio.
Yeah, this is
like Dominicans, Cubans. So this is the backbone.
Well, I tell you, the barrio means everything, including the music.
Yes, I've always been in contact with this music because my parents always played records and I've always been in musical events.
Me enfermo, cuando no toco me enfermo. Tengo que estar tocando día y noche.
Well, I think I like everything about music. I told my mother I wanted to learn how to play the violin and piano, and my mother knew that there was a school around here, so my father went looking for it, and we finally found it. When my mom told me about this school that we could learn a lot of things, well, I said, "Oh my God, I let's go, Mom!" And I pushed her all around to get some coats and everything we needed.
This is the East Harlem Music School, founded by Johnny Cologne some 17 years ago. And the advent of this school has lent itself to the development of many of the youngsters coming from this area. Many of the children, the students that I have, youth and adults, are public assistants, and whereas when I was a child in this neighborhood, my lessons were paid for by my parents. Okay, this is, if this were to be the situation here in East Harlem today, these children would not be able to study music. The courses which are given here for under 21, under age 21, are entirely free. There's an extreme amount of talent around here, and it has to be nurtured, it has to be developed, and it has to be brought to the surface. And whereas some of these young charges that I have, and even some of the adults, at any given age, any person can begin to achieve and attain heights musically that they never thought they would. You know, many people have really a recessive talent that they have convinced themselves they don't have. And I have found this to be very true, even in some senior citizens that I have here. I have several retired persons who are, living on pensions and Social Security, who have come here for their lessons, and I've had some of them 6 going on 7 months. And they are even finding out for themselves new avenues, new areas of performance that they heretofore had never even dreamed about coming out.
That gives you a certain amount of pleasure in life, and each time you learn something new, it's a new experience, and you're happy to accomplish things. And being retired, it's nice. Feel that, things are not ending for you. You could still go on and learn a lot of new things in life. Even if there's possible, who knows, maybe I might learn another instrument. If I could really accomplish the piano.
I believe the school is a great necessity to the community, because I believe there's a lot of talent here, and unfortunately, most of us don't have the means to send our children to conservatory schools. Extremely, the prices are completely out of our reach. I think they do a wonderful job here with the children, not only with the children, with the adults. They have very caring teachers. The personnel is friendly, is understanding, and I believe that this is a great asset to the community. It's a great thing to have.
The building in which Johnny Cologne's music school is based was once a police precinct. The police left here about 1973 or 4 and moved to another building. The building was empty for many years until Hope Community and Johnny Cologne's East Harlem Music School moved in and took what was a shell of a building and created a cultural center. A center that cares about housing, that cares about music, that cares about arts, cares about culture. And it's a very vital and important organization. And we care a lot about the East Harlem Music School, and we would like to see it continue.
I think it's very important to maintain your own culture. Part of being what you are and who you are is maintaining your roots, and I believe that the school does serve that purpose. They not only teach classical instruments and classical music, they also teach Latin and South American, Brazilian, and Afro. And I believe that this is very interesting, this is very important. I want my son to be proud as because he's an American born, but I also want him to be proud of his roots. I want him to know that we Hispanics, we have great musicians, we have great composers, and he should learn that our children should be proud. And the only way they're going to be proud is if we have a school like this one that teaches them that it's great to admire Vladimir Horowitz, but we can also admire Tito Puente, and we could also admire Lalo Schifrin from Argentina, and the likes of other people that I know they're over Latin America, and they've been all over the world, and they are renowned. Our children, if they don't hear about them, then they will never know just how important these people are to our culture, and that we should be very proud of our own culture. We have a lot to offer also.
So pretty. To Johnny Colon for outstanding commitment and devotion to the youth of New York City, PTA PS 111 Queens, May 1st, 1986.
The survival of Latin music, I think that will always happen, because there is a turning point where kids who were raised in New York, or kids who were raised in Chicago, or kids who were raised in the Midwest will always turn around and come back and say, hey, that stuff is dynamite. That's what my mother was talking about, you know. I love it. Let me reach out to it. And it's good because that's the way people relate to their roots, you know, particularly for Hispanics and certainly in particular for Puerto Ricans. We always go back through the music, always through the music, you know, discovering who we are and where we came from. When I was a kid, right, I said when I was approximately 9 going on 10 years of age, I'm not going to do this Latino music anymore with the trios because it's hickey music. I said hickey because that's what I had heard as a kid. I didn't understand that. I didn't realize how rich that music was, or that so-called hickey music was. I mean, that's where it's at. You know, you never hear a country fella from Texas saying, gee, country's hickey, although they used to call it hillbilly music, right? It's not called hillbilly music anymore, now it's country, right? And so you kind of lose, you start questioning your identity. I was born in New York, therefore I'm an American. Why am I doing this? You know? And then all of a sudden, something happens in your life that you realize how rich that culture is. And what happened to me was that I was trapped in the middle. Now, when I was given the chance to hear a combination of something which I understood, which I happened to be a jazz buff, even back then when I was, you know, like 11, 12, 13. And I heard Cal Jader doing a thing called Latin jazz with Mongo Santamaria and Willie Bobo on the rhythm, in the rhythm section, Al McKibben playing bass, Lonnie Hewitt on piano, and himself on vibes. I said, wow, this is fiery stuff. This stuff is incendiary. This stuff makes me want to move. I gotta listen to more of it. I think that Latin music, as salsa music as we know it today, is being discovered all over the world by non-Latinos. And that's what I think is going to be the survival of the music more than anything else.
I'm not from this neighborhood and I'm not from this culture, although now I'm very much a part of it. Being that I hadn't really been exposed to the music when I was younger, I really had to learn from scratch. Even though I was a dancer and I was very much involved with music, I had not been exposed to Latin music. And so I had to study this music. And what I learned from scratch, and I learned how to teach because of that. And now I've been teaching at the school for about 4 years. This school for me has been wonderful, wonderful experience, and for many, many other people. And I hope it stays here for a very long time.